Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of Bush League Bros Sports Talk. Brett Batchelder right here with my guy, rocking a new studio view back there, Paul Liakis. Paul, how we doing, bro?
I'm doing pretty good, dude. Yeah, man. I talked last week how I'd moved into a new apartment, man. They have these convenient like work from home offices, so I figured, hey, might as well turn it into a little studio setup, and hopefully everything sounds good. I'm not echoing too bad, and hopefully, yeah, we have a new little setup here moving forward.
I'm just now noticing,
Okay.
but where your head is positioned, it's kind of like you have the good
Covering.
angel and the bad angel, like
Yeah.
over your shoulders right there.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to figure out which one's the good influence. And it's probably the guy with the hat backwards, but I mean, we don't know.
I don't know about that.
Know.
I don't know. The guy in the Boston hat is probably the good angel. He's over the shoulder. And so are you, I have a question because I'm in the mirror effect. Is that read straight to you or does that read backwards to you?
It reads straight to me.
Okay, because it reads backwards to me because it's the mirror effect.
Oh, that's weird. I got you.
It's science, dude. It's science. Okay?
I ain't no scientist, bro. I go to college for sportscasting, not for microbiology or any of this nonsense. Get out of here. I'm not an engineer.
Well, as long as it looks the right way on your end.
Sounds like a shitty horror movie. The mirror effect.
Mirror effect. Hey, the Butterfly Effect, that's a great movie, dude.
The Butterfly Effect is not a great movie, and it's disappointing to hear you say that out loud. Does Ashton Kutcher have a great movie? I can't think of one.
Dude,
you can tell me The Guardian. I'll punch you right in the mouth.
No, it's not a good movie. No.
Thank you.
When he played Steve Jobs, dude, that was.
I never saw it. I couldn't buy really Michael Kelso as Steve Jobs. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about him. How's life going, pal? Before we get into this,
life's good, dude. Life is good, man, and just grinding along here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited. I feel like this is a new era of Bush League Bros. We're kind of set up in a new studio. We're cranking it out now, man.
We're getting ready to do some revamping on the pod. Mm-hmm. We already have one guy. It won't be on this episode, so I'm sorry, my guy Ryan. I know you're anticipating. But we already have some video submissions that we're going to comment on in the next episode.
There we go.
Just got to work out some of the technological thingy-majiggers, and then we'll start having a lot of fun with that. I do have a question about Boston land over there.
Yes.
Is it true y'all are shut down? Like, because of weather or whatever? What's going on over there?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I probably should have mentioned that. Yeah, we got like 2 feet of snow.
That sounds awful.
Thursday. Yeah, it was awful. Yeah. So, that sucks. I haven't dealt with that much snow in a very long time. Cleaning off your car, like driving in the snow. You got snow in the wheel wells.
Nope.
It's just awful, dude. Yeah, I don't. It's not a fun time. It's not a fun time.
Hey, man, it's 60 degrees out down here. It's finally the time where we're winning in the weather department up here down here.
That's when know what I mean. Like yesterday when I was cleaning my car off, getting snow all over me, like soaking wet, freezing my dick off. I was like, why the fuck did I leave Florida? Why did I leave Florida? But I mean, I do like it up here still. It's my home. I hope to be here probably permanently. I don't know. I'm not going back to Florida.
No more. Well, I mean, you can't do, well, yeah, when you're old and your bones start to hurt in the cold. Sure, absolutely. But you don't need to be moving for a while, pal. Like that'd be 3 times in a year. You don't need to.
I'm not moving anywhere. I am not going anywhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't either if I were you.
I'm riding it out. But yeah, we were basically, the city was basically kind of, it was immovable for a period of time, but they do a good job up here getting the roads together. So
taking hot showers to fix your shrinkage problems. I mean, you got to do what you got to do down there. You're up there. I don't know my geography. I'd rather deal with that though than move for 3 times in a year. That's just not okay.
Yeah, I'm not moving.
That's brutal.
I might just sign a 5-year lease here at this place.
Oh my God, the commitment. Dude, in 5 years, I mean, you'll already have that Bush League Bros money coming in with the mansion and doing big stuff. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll have our own studio in the house, in the crib. Yeah,
absolutely. So
all right.
You ready for a little? You ready to do a little sports talk here?
Let's do it. Yeah.
We're gonna start with something. I can't believe I have to address this clown for a 3rd time. on the channel, but I'm just gonna make it a thing. We're just gonna talk about this guy. He does it for attention. We're gonna give him attention. I don't care. It's gonna happen. Got to talk about it. Did you see Jake Paul's promo video on Conor McGregor and Dana White? And if you did, give me some thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, just basically calling out Conor again, saying he had sent him a check, being very disrespectful to his fiance
for $50 million.
Wife. Yeah, he said it was for $50 million. I
mean, the wife comments.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous though, because he's like, I sent you a check for $50 million. The only reason, you know what I mean? Like the only way that fight is worth $50 million is if Conor even agrees to it. You get what I mean?
Correct.
It's not even worth that much for them to fight.
Yeah, I mean, how much did he make versus Nate Robinson?
Exactly. There's no way he made that. Yeah. He didn't make anything on that fight, really. I think they didn't.
I think he made $1 million. I think he made $1 million, and Tyson and Roy Jones got 10.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like the only reason that check is even worth $50 million is for you to get McGregor in it. And then he was just very disrespectful to Dana White too. And then there was, he was doing other stuff. Did you see he threw water balloons at Dylan Dennis, did like a drive-by in his truck. Just, I mean, Jake Paul's going to get really beat up.
Did you see Logan Paul on his YouTube channel?
Yeah, saying
you hear what he said? He's like, bro, I hope Conor doesn't mistake me for him because I look like him. And then they're talking, who's the guy? I'm going to be the guy to bring up porn on this episode, but the guy on the Logan one that's dating Lana Rhodes or whatever, Mike,
I forget
whatever
the guy's
his
name
is.
Yeah, but I know you're talking about. Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. He sat there. He's like, dude, does he realize that Conor doesn't have to touch him? He's got Irish goons out there.
Yeah,
that will do it for And now you got. And look, this is where I can't stand this clown, but it's also genius because now he's got Nate Diaz calling him out. He's got hockey players calling him out. He's got pretty much anybody in the UFC calling him out.
Yeah.
And Dana finally responded to him, saying he wants to let he's thinking about letting Amanda Nunes knock him out. And I gotta tell you what, Amanda Nunes would kill Jake Paul.
She would, dude. Yeah.
Absolutely murder.
Yeah. That's how crazy this all is, dude, is that the fact that it's all for publicity, because this kid's going to get rocked by anyone. Any real professional fighter he steps in the ring with, he's going to get rocked by. So I don't know. I don't know what his end game is here or his plan is. He's never going to fight McGregor. I'm kind of come to that conclusion. McGregor's never going to.
McGregor hasn't even mentioned it, and McGregor is a psychopath on social media.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's taking the right approach where he's just like, this is so beneath me that I'm not
that's
even
gonna, that's exactly what he needs to
I'm not even going to respond to this nonsense. And eventually, if he just stays doing, the only thing he could do wrong would be to reply at this point, because if he just stays with this, eventually it just gets played out. If Jake Paul keeps doing it, everyone's gonna be like, dude, he's not fighting you. It's just clear that that's not happening.
Shut up, move on.
Yeah.
Well, I do think it's interesting that Chael Sonnen, the American gangster, went on his podcast and he started talking about, it's really interesting that none of these celebrities ever call anybody out for a fight in the octagon. It's always boxing where they can walk out alive. I mean, if you want to really, boast your manhood or whatever, if you're Jake Paul, why wouldn't you just, hey, let's do it in the octagon. Let's go.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Kind of hiding behind boxing.
He's never going to get in the octagon. Yeah. He's going to get, I think he's going to get beat up, for real. Someone's going to catch him on the street.
He's going to get, he's going to get Takashi'd whenever they find him.
He's going to get Takashi'd. Yeah, exactly. So.
Dead. D-E-D. Dead.
We'll see. Done. I mean, I don't know. I've had just about enough of it. I'll watch the fight between Mayweather and his brother and see.
I will not pay for it.
Yeah, I probably won't pay for it either, but
0% chance.
It's just, I mean,
I'll find a Twitter stream and watch it illegally.
Yeah. On one hand, I'm I'm over this, but these kids, this is what they, you know what I mean? This is what they do. They take over the internet. So you got to give them some credit in regards to that.
I mean, they're worth more money than I ever will be. So, I mean, I'll give them all the credit in the world. I don't have to like them. They're doing something right, though.
Yeah, they basically run the internet. So, there's a reason for that they they stay in the headlines. So we'll see what happens. But I think he's gonna get beat up here pretty soon. Yeah.
It's just a little concerning for America when the heroes of a certain generation, or I don't know, the influencers of a certain generation are out there doing TikTok and YouTube clown videos like that, while over in Russia, they're throwing their 5-year-olds at bears. America, we're in trouble, guys.
Shape. Yeah.
At least I'll be, I'm not living much longer, so we'll be all right. I don't have to worry about it too much. What I do want to worry about, I didn't realize this until I was putting the show together. Basketball, it kicks off Tuesday, December 22nd. The tip-off is already here.
Yeah.
Christmas is next week, so it makes sense. I knew it was around Christmas.
Yeah.
We got to talk a little NBA. We haven't really done that a whole lot.
Dude. Yeah, I'm pumped, dude. I'm all for it.
Good stuff.
I love the NBA, bud.
Preseason, I've watched a little bit. I don't really care about preseason basketball because they don't really.
Yeah,
they're not even trying to find the rotations or anything yet. They're just whatever. But this James Harden news story won't go away.
No, yeah.
It's come back up that now he could still be on the move because Houston is opening the trade talks back up with multiple teams. Philly has always been they were one of the initial rumored destinations. They weren't willing to let go of Ben Simmons. Now it sounds like they are willing to give up Ben Simmons, according to, I think, Woj of ESPN, but there's no deal close with Philly. Do you think we get a trade between now and Tuesday, or even between now and the end of the year, with James Harden and another team?
I think so, yeah. I think it's just clear that he wants out. So why even
going out getting COVID?
Yeah, the only argument you could make is that they hold on to him and try and get a better deal around the trade deadline. But it's if he's miserable and he's just gonna I feel like he's almost at the point where he might not play if he doesn't get traded. I don't know.
I mean, he showed up for preseason.
Yeah, he did show up,
but
I think it's kind of there's definitely turmoil amongst that locker room and that team where he wants out. They clearly haven't wanted to trade him when they got John Wall. I think they thought that would kind of at least keep things on an even keel for a little bit. Maybe he try and get through this season, or who knows. But I guess from what I'm seeing, that didn't make him happy or really change his mind on anything, which isn't surprising. I mean, Russell Westbrook is kind of, I guess, would be someone I'd rather play with than John Wall at this point. Who knows if John Wall is actually going to be healthy?
Yeah, he rarely is, and
yeah,
I don't know what kind of a teammate John Wall is.
He is healthy right now. Apparently, he looks good, but
for now,
who knows how long he's going to stay healthy? Yeah. So,
would you want to be the lone star with John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins as your 2 and 3 who are always hurt? I mean, I really wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think it's just, and it's hard for me to really get on Harden for this because, I can get on him because he did sign a long-term contract there. And it's kind of, I kind of hate this shit where these guys sign these contracts and then 2 or 3 years into the deal, they're like, I want out, trade me.
That's what's about to happen to Giannis, who just signed his max deal last week.
Yeah.
Right after we got done with our show, that got announced.
I know.
Oh, thanks, guys.
We'll get into that. But in terms of Harden, man, I think he's gonna force his way out, and I don't know. It's a bad look. I don't think that these guys that are signing long term. It's why these deals are getting shorter and shorter. So because people know that these guys will just leave anyway. So I think that they should do it. For the Sixers should just do it, depending on what's in return for, if it's Harden, Simmons, and I assume they want a pick or two, right? Or some of the role players thrown in there with that.
If
it won't be a flop
Houston,
for Simmons and Harden.
Yeah, if I'm Houston, I'm trying to do the Boston Celtics model when they made that trade with the Nets for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. I'm trying to accumulate picks on picks on picks.
Yeah.
Or you can just call I should call it the Oklahoma City Thunder model because they have every pick in every NBA draft between now and 2026.
Right.
Scott Presti is a genius.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can't. Or Sam Presti?
Yeah.
I got Scott Brooks, their old coach. Yeah, mix it up right there. But
it's all good.
You can't. No, I mean, it's unacceptable. It's Bush League on my
It's
part. I
Bush
mean, what the
League.
hell?
That was
What am I
Bush
even
League
doing
tape,
around
yeah.
here? Good God. Jesus Christ. It's almost like my refrigerator breaking today. Got my brain all over the place. But we're not doing that right now. We're not doing it. Got it fixed. But, yeah, I mean, Ben Simmons, James Harden, swap for swap, that's not even close. And you never know what a draft pick is. So I'm probably trying to get 3, maybe 4 first-round draft picks from Philly based on, like, I mean, what did Milwaukee get for – I mean, what did the Pelicans get for Drew Holiday? Didn't they get like 3 first-round picks and Eric Bledsoe?
Yeah.
James Harden's worth more than that.
No, he definitely is. Yeah.
Easily.
I mean, I think that's probably what it'll come down to. Yeah, they're going to want a boatload of picks, but how valuable are those like first-round picks from the Sixers when they then have James Harden, Joel Embiid? Like, you got to figure they're not going to be in the lottery for a long time, unless.
Well, I mean, you don't know. I mean, you got Embiid, who is an injury-prone guy, and Doc Rivers, who seems to have 1 or 2 really good years, and then his teams fizzle out and they lose faith in him. And I think Doc is a good coach, but he just hasn't been.
Yeah.
Boston was the right town for him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just think that
he might be done.
I think that Harden needs a new start. Like, it's just not. That was why it's like hard for me to be too upset with what he's doing, because clearly it just hasn't worked in Houston and it's not going to work. Like, he's never going to win a title there. It's just clear. If he was going to, they would have done it by now.
He's never won a title.
Yeah, when they blew that series to the Warriors, right? They were up 3-1, or I forget. They had the Warriors on the ropes one of those years when
the Rockets.
The Rockets.
The Thunder had them up 3-1 and they lost, but I don't know. Maybe they did.
I think they were up. I think they were up 3-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they blew it to the Warriors. If they had, that was the year that they're going to win, and like it's just kind of been. It hasn't been downhill from them. They've still been a contender, but that was the year.
Just kind of plateaued, yeah.
Exactly. So I don't think it's going to happen. So I think it'd be exciting to see him on Philly, and I think Simmons and Embiid just hasn't worked either. Like, they've given that enough time. I think the move needs to happen. It's weird. I don't know. Well, it's so strange because like when a deal like this has been out there for so long, like that it's been like a couple months now almost. Like that's been the rumor. It feels like that deal never really actually happens.
Do you think? Yeah. This is my thought on Philly as the destination. How do you think James Harden and Philly fans are going to get along, if at all? The dude's going to come in out of shape like he always does. I mean, he's looking – I don't know. Have you seen the memes where do you remember the wrestler Mark Henry, like the world's strongest man, the big guy with the dreads? Yeah. They just put a James Harden jersey on him because, he's a fatter guy.
Yeah.
He killed me.
I don't know.
Philly fans
but Harden's always like that, man. I mean – He's never looked like a physical specimen.
Oh, I know, but he also doesn't have a fan base. And I mean, Houston, how well of a fan base are they known for, loving any of their teams? I mean, they show up, but they don't show out. You know what I mean? It's not I would
say like the Houston Rockets have like a strong, loyal, like crazy fan base. Maybe not like as big as other teams, but yeah, I think they do.
Like a Philly?
Nah, maybe not like Philly, but
I just never noticed.
I think there's like, at least with like NBA Twitter, the Houston fans are very active on there and like talk a lot of shit. So I think that
what do they have to talk shit about? But okay.
How good James Harden is. That's pretty much it. In regards to James Harden, though, okay, you can make fun of him like being out of shape or whatever, but
I'm not making fun of him. I'm saying that's what Philly fans are going to do.
Yeah, but that guy does like, you don't just score. What did he average or I don't know, forget what he averaged last year, but he had the 1 year he averaged like 35, right?
Yeah, he's had a couple of years like that. Yep.
Yeah, you don't do that without like putting in the work. Granted, no one's ever handled the ball as much as him, like ever in NBA history. So I mean, I think if Jordan had the ball as much as him, like in this era, he would probably average like 45 a game. Probably. So, but it doesn't mean like he does put in the work. There's been a lot of people that like make fun of him because he does party a lot and give him shit, but he does put in the work. So I think he would be fine in Philly, maybe. Probably not. Actually.
I don't think anybody's fine in Philly. Trash city, trash people.
Trash
city. We've been down that road with those heathens.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I think they should just do it. Clearly, Harden's not going to be happy if he stays there. So we can move on.
It's time. Yeah, I mean, it's time for him to move on. Time for us to move on. Real quick, I didn't have it in the rundown, but let us now discuss the Giannis deal.
Yes.
5 years, what, 223, 226 million dollars?
28.
28. Okay, 228 million dollars. Surprising that he signed this deal to you?
Yes and no. Yeah. I think a lot of people thought, yeah, he might leave, but he's different, man. And ever since he came in the league, like, he's a different type of guy, man. He wasn't one of these guys that kind of grew up in that AAU model where, like, even these kids starting in like high school when they play AAU, they make their own like super teams and go play like in these AAU tournaments. So, and I think that's why you've seen so much of that now in the NBA, where these guys all join, like, make a super team together, because it's kind of, it grows up. Yeah. They grow up doing that in AAU and whatever it may be. And then they get to the NBA and they're like, let's all join this and get on the same team. Right. Giannis is not like that. He came from Greece. He was like a poor kid in Greece. He really wasn't like a touted draft pick. He had to work his way to like what he is now. Granted, he's a genetic freak, so that like really helped too. But I think all along, a lot of people thought, yeah, he's a different type of cat, where he's not just gonna leave because things are hard, or, you know, like, that dude's been through harder shit than losing in the NBA playoffs like that. So,
Sure.
So I think for him, and he came out and like said it. He was like, I want to play on the same team for like 20 years. He's like, I want to be like Dirk. And I mean, you got to commend him for it in this era, dude, where everyone just leaves and does whatever, right? Like, you got to commend him for staying there and staying put. Here's the argument. Is it the right move for him though? Like, what if he just never wins there and he's just like a great player that never really wins an NBA title? Or
he could be.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm with you as far as I like the mentality. I like that the guy wants to be loyal. I think guys like him, guys like Damian Lillard, that's why you like people like that, because they're the ones that go, no, I'm not recruiting these other guys. It's me against them. That's why people like Russell Westbrook. I mean, he literally just told Scott Brooks that he hates every point guard in the NBA. As soon as he's on the court, he's not friends with. He hates him. Mm-hmm. You like that mentality. You like the guy that wants to do it himself. You like the guy that's going to stay local in his small market team, because Milwaukee, that's not a big market team.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, I joked about him going to the Magic. I knew it was never going to happen because we're not a big market team. If he's going to leave, he's going to go to
Miami or Dallas. Yeah.
Or, they'll always float out LA or New York rumors just because that's what ESPN's really good at doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, it gives hope, like, for teams like the Magic, that, hey, you can, if you get a superstar and you do right by them, put them in a situation where they fall in love with the city, the fan base, you can keep it. So I liked it from that aspect. I don't know. I'm with you, though. I also don't know that it's necessarily the smartest basketball move for him.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even this season, I mean, Milwaukee, they added Drew Holiday. I like Drew Holiday. I think he's a much better player than Eric Bledsoe, as long as he can stay healthy. But the Bogdanovich trade situation, where they tried to trade for him from the Kings, and then because Bogdanovich and the Kings didn't have it worked out on a sign and trade, like, they basically did it without his permission. I mean, that kind of shows some ineptitude. I don't know if that's more of a Kings problem or a Bucks problem for not checking the protocol first. Yeah. There's some things that kind of make you go, I don't know if this is the best thing for you, but I like it. I do like it. I think it's a good sign for the league, where not everybody has to go.
It is. I think that's the most important thing, is that him leaving would have really...
It would have killed small market teams.
It would have been like a moment where we had to be like, okay, like, really, this is just 7 or 8 teams that can compete for an NBA title, and like the rest of these teams are basically just like G League teams that aren't, like, have no shot.
Yeah.
If he had left Milwaukee, and so it's good. It's good to see that a guy thinks that he can stay somewhere that's a smaller market like Milwaukee and win there. And I mean, part of me, like I said, I'm skeptical he will win there, but part of me, if it's not going to be the Celtics, I kind of would root for him to win, just because he did kind of thumb his nose at everyone that's kind of done this before.
Yeah.
Right? Like, absolutely. If he does win, say he stays in Milwaukee and his career follows the path that it looks like it's going on, where he's going to be one of the greatest NBA players of all time. Say he wins 3 titles in Milwaukee, and LeBron maybe wins again next year. He ends up with 5, but Giannis wins like three titles in Milwaukee, and he's got all those stats and numbers too. I mean, I'd have to look at his career and think, I don't know, he'd be up there with LeBron. I mean, we're talking, he's got a long way to go until he gets there, but you get what I mean? Like, I would respect that more than LeBron left and joined 2 different super teams and, only went back to Cleveland when they had basically a mini super team there. So, I don't know. It kind of like spits in LeBron's face. That's what I mean.
Yeah, we're on the same page here. I like this move. This is a great move for the city of Milwaukee.
And you know what else he didn't do? You know what else he didn't do that LeBron did that he screwed the Cavs the first time. Like Giannis could have held them hostage this whole season and been like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, right? Like, and just kind of went with that. Whereas like LeBron, every time he's done this, has just like not said anything until like not even told like
until he goes on ESPN and announces where he's taking his talents.
Yeah, he basically just leaves his team a hot mess whenever he leaves. I mean, the Heat, you can argue the Heat really just recovered like in the past couple of years from when he left there. Like it took them a while to really get back as like to be a real contender. So
yeah, I mean, the Heat are just such a well-run organization.
Yeah, that's
Pat Riley. Yeah. So they didn't.
They were never like a bottom feeder.
Yeah, their down years were being a 7th, 8th seed in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, they did all right, but now they got Mr. Selena Gomez, Jimmy Buckets over there. They're doing all right. All right. So you ready to make some predictions here?
I am.
We gotta do it. So we're just gonna start. We're not gonna start with who's gonna win it all. I think we're probably gonna be very similar in that aspect. I want to know who your MVP is going to be for the 2021 NBA season.
So I got a few. It's hard for me to like.
Give me your few. Give me your few, and we'll talk about them.
So
that's what we'll do. I like that.
I would say the front runners as of now. Would be Luka or Giannis, right?
Okay.
I mean
Luka is mine.
Yeah. Maybe you could throw LeBron in there if he has like a ridiculous
But I mean, do you really think – see, this is my thing with the MVP award. If you have another top 10 and some people say top 5 player in the NBA, you can't be the MVP. Like that's just always been my philosophy.
It's a good argument, yeah.
I just don't think you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's –
because you take LeBron off that team, there's still a borderline playoff team, right?
Yeah, without LeBron, yeah, for sure.
When Westbrook won, and yeah, I'm using Westbrook because he's my guy. When Westbrook won the MVP, you take him off that team.
They are.
If they won 10 games that season, it would have been a shock.
Yeah.
Steven Adams is going to lead you somewhere? No, I don't think so. Although I do like him on the Pelicans.
But I think Luka, like you said, is the interesting one. I mean, the dude is 22 years old now, right? And potentially could be the best player in the league this year. It's not really out of the question.
Hope the ankles stay healthy.
Yeah, if the ankles stay healthy, he stays healthy. I mean, that goes for anyone, right? But I just think that what we saw from him in the bubble, if that really like picks up and carries over and he just shows out all year. I mean, I think he's got potential to be like a 30 point, 10 assist kind of guy, which I think locks up the MVP.
He is a much better passer than I think a lot of people give him credit for.
Yeah. So if he does that and he rebounds too, like, you know what I mean? Like he's a body. So if he does that and he leads the Mavericks to a top 3 seed in the West, I think he'll be right in the conversation, which all signs point towards he's going to do that. Giannis, on the other hand, I mean, you kind of know what you're going to get. He's probably going to score 30, average 10 rebounds. You know, like I assume the thing with Giannis is if he wins his 3rd MVP in a row, that's pretty historic. I know Larry Bird did that, I think. I'm trying to think who else has done that. Did Jordan do that? 3 MVPs in a row?
In a row.
Yeah.
I remember Barkley interrupted one streak that he was on.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think even Jordan did that. Like three MVPs in a row is basically, I mean, he's already probably a Hall of Famer, but like he locks him in as like a first ballot Hall of Famer, for sure. And so I can see Giannis, but I just don't think Giannis is gonna he's been an amazing player. Like, I just don't think he's going to be improved. Like, I think he's pretty much at his peak, if that makes sense, right? So I think the only hope of someone else stealing the MVP is like they have to have a comparable season and something that kind of like overshadows what Giannis does this year.
Yeah.
So I do have a couple dark horses though.
Well, hang on. I'm going to give you some props here.
Okay.
Because you are right as far as Larry Bird was the last one to win 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Jordan won, this is insane, 4 in 6 seasons. He's got 5 overall, but 2 he won 2, and then Magic Johnson won 2, and then he won 2. The only other guy to win 3 in a row, or well, there's only two other guys to win 3 in a row.
Let me guess.
Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain.
Yep.
So there we go. Look at that. Look at you and your NBA knowledge over it.
Didn't Kareem win
more than adequate
6? So Kareem just won them sporadically, kind of through his career.
Yeah, he didn't win them. The most he won was 2 in a row, based on the NBA.
He's got the most, I think, right? Whatever. Kareem's got the most ever, right?
Jordan's got 5. He's got. Let's see here.
Kareem's definitely got 6. Yeah.
Does he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kareem does have 6. Yes, sir. Look at you.
So. Dude, fucking statistician over here. I don't even need to look it up.
Dude, I'm too old to have that kind of memory anymore, but I'm glad you're here for that. You know, we're really proud of you carrying the team like that. Who's your dark horse?
I do have a couple dark horses. The first one. It's
going to be Jason.
He's not the first one. He really wasn't the first one.
Okay. All right.
The first one is if Steph Curry can lead the Warriors to like a top 4 seed in the West somehow, like he's got to have a season basically like one of the MVP seasons he had in the past, like the one where he was the unanimous MVP.
Sure.
If he has a season like that and he carries the Warriors pretty much single-handedly to the playoffs, I think he's definitely got to be in consideration, right?
Yeah, I mean, and he's looked pretty good in preseason. I mean, it's weird to see braided Steph Curry. I don't think I've ever seen that look. But yeah, I mean, Steph Curry, if he gets hot, he can lead a team. And that'll be the big question.
I just feel like we're, it's so funny how the world is, in 2020 has kind of played a part in all this. But like people forget Steph Curry was arguably like the best basketball player on the planet for a period of time, like 3 years ago.
Well, I think this is a year that he can prove, because there's a lot of people that when LeBron carried the Cavs, without Kyrie and without Kevin Love in those finals, they didn't win that year.
Mm-hmm.
But then the last time he took the Cavs to the finals, when he had like Isaiah Thomas and Dwayne Wade and said, you got to get the hell out of here. Mm-hmm. And then they brought in a bunch of other guys. It was just, not a great Cavs team.
Yeah.
People would argue, okay, if you put LeBron on the Warriors and Steph on those Cleveland teams, Steph is not taking those teams to the finals. This is one of those times where he doesn't have Clay. He doesn't have KD.
Yeah,
Draymond is not Draymond Green. I mean, he's still going to be a good defensive presence, and he's not a bad player, but he's not.
Yeah, he's got
a number 2, and you can't count on Andrew Wiggins to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the year that he can say, no, I am. He can stake his claim as the or one of the best players in the National Basketball Association with a great season. And I don't think that's a bad dark horse at all. I like that one.
The thing with Curry, and I think he gets a lot of like flack, or like people think he's soft or like not a tough guy, right? I mean, I'm not saying he's tough, right? But I think it's understated like how tough mentally he is. Like he's a workhorse dude. Yeah, exactly. Like,
he's he's Ray Allen.
And I think that all this stuff where like he's been out of the league for a year, people like think, it's the Warriors dynasty is done. And it may be, right? But I think we're going to get a really good version of Steph Curry this year.
I agree.
I really do. And my bold prediction for him is I would say I think he averages 30 again.
Is that bold? Who else is going to be taking shots? I mean, I just think that's a solid. I think it's a solid prediction.
But over 30 points a game is like that's not something to sneeze at. That's a pretty.
No, I mean it's easier now than it used to be, but I mean that's well within his wheelhouse. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that would be my prediction. He's going to average 30 points or more a game, and if they make the playoffs and are like a top 4 seed, I think they're gonna make the playoffs either way. But if they're a top 4 seed in the West, I think that he has a chance to be an MVP. So back to my other dark horse, who we had mentioned briefly, Jason Tatum.
Tate Young.
Tatum could win MVP if he makes like the leap this year. We gotta remember he's very young too. He's 22 years old as well. So, and I'm talking he's got to make the leap where like he averages like 30 a game this year.
I mean, isn't he allegedly still growing?
Yeah, apparently.
Didn't that story come out that he's grown in this offseason, even though he's 22, 23 years old?
I mean, I think it's technically possible when you're that young, right? When you're...
Maybe I'm just jealous. Like, God, I stopped going when I was 15, and these assholes are 22, and they're already 6'9". Now they're going to 6'10".
Yeah. I just love how, like, that was such, like, a big news story where they're like, oh, my God.
Well, who clowned him? Someone clowned him on Twitter.
Yeah, fuck. I forget.
I don't know. Some other guy did.
Oh, it was the guy on the Jazz, right?
Oh, Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, because they had that funny budding rivalry thing in the bubble.
Exactly. So, yeah, that was funny. I mean, does it really matter? I mean, we knew he was a tall. I would have guessed that. Yeah, I guess he was 6'8", right? I mean, I would have guessed he was probably, maybe he was like a real 6'8", and they went back to juking the stats where like
we could all use an extra 2 inches. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just insane.
I think of it honestly, like as a fan, like it doesn't really. The only thing it does for me is like
it means nothing.
It's slightly concerning, like because sometimes when you grow like that, like I know
from elephantitis or something.
Well, no, you can like it can throw off like your jumper, or I just hope it doesn't throw off his jumper, or like affect his game in any way.
He's a workhorse.
Is he gonna start? Right. Like this is what's funny about that. Like, is he gonna start? Is he now he's gonna post up on the block? He's like he's 6'10" now. He's gonna be down low, posting guys up.
Hey, KD's 6'10", right? I mean, KD posts up.
KD's like legit like 7 feet. Yeah, he's like 6'11".
I don't know. His height is another one that changes every other year, depending on how he's feeling. I don't understand how this works.
So those would be my candidates. I guess any of the.
I think
I guess KD could be a dark horse too, though.
KD could be a dark horse.
It's kind of.
I'll talk about that team here in a little bit.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been, like you said, when they've been gone for so long, you kind of take them out of your mind, you forget about them, and you move on to the new hot shiny object. Mm-hmm. There's only one more guy that I think should be on the list that we didn't discuss, and that's Dame time. I think if Damian Lillard can do what he did in the bubble and carry that over, I mean, you can talk about a lot of that for these other guys, but I think him more than anybody else just because of his supporting cast.
Yeah.
CJ McCollum, I like him, but he's not, he's also kind of injury prone.
He's not a superstar, yeah.
No, he's a great player, but superstar, that's
he's
a push.
Star. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if he can replicate that in going into this season, lead them to the playoffs, the West is going to be, I know it's always the more competitive conference, or typically the more competitive conference.
I don't know about this year. Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. This dude, like the Pelicans, I think got so much better.
Yeah.
Portland is getting guys back. Golden State's getting their guy back. I mean, there's.
No, yeah, I mean
Sacramento's going to get better with De'Aaron Fox. Phoenix got Chris Paul. I mean, the West is going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, I think it might be a slightly more competitive of a conference. I think the East is still. I think the East is more top heavy. Yeah, the East is way more top heavy, but it's stronger 1 through 8 than it has been in a long time. Like there were years where like you know what I mean? Like your Orlando Magic were making it in the playoffs at like 32 and
there's
40.
no need to cast aspersions on my Orlando Magic. Okay, we fight. We have. We'll talk about them in a little bit.
Do the Orlando Magic hold the record for like most sub 500 teams that made the playoffs?
No, probably the Knicks. If I had to guess,
no.
Bro, we've only been under 500 last season. We were under 500. We made the playoffs in the bubble. And that's it. The year before, we were at 500. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We were 2 games under 500. So 2 years. That's it. And we hadn't made the playoffs since the Dwight days.
And the year before.
No.
We were under 500.
So it's 2 times. The last 2 seasons, we were under 500, made the playoffs. Before all the Dwight years made the playoffs, we were over 500. It was between, your Celtics and my Magic. And, it would be which team gets to eliminate LeBron and Cleveland first. You know, that was
Yeah,
always,
yeah.
those were some great years, by the way.
Yeah.
And then the 90s or the T-Mac years, where we,
You know who I always like?
the Pistons.
I know Dwight Howard was a monster on those teams, but you know who like I always remember as like the guy that just fucking like was like a killer on that team, like always came up in big moments was Turkoglu. Remember him?
Hedo Turkoglu. Oh,
Dude,
come on. I mean, that's our guy.
I remember him fucking crushing the Celtics' hopes a couple times. Like I love me. Like, this fucking guy, dude. Yeah.
Hedo and Rashard Lewis.
Yeah.
That changed basketball.
It did. Yeah. You can make an argument that was
he was more of a point. He was more of a point forward. Hedo was, and then Rashard was a 3 playing the 4. He was a stretch 4. Yeah. So thank you, Stan Van Gundy, for changing basketball. But you know.
Yeah. He doesn't get credit.
We don't get any credit because we're Orlando, and you know. The system's against us. You know, that's why we're held back. But we're not making the NBA Finals, even though I do like one of the moves we made in the offseason. Let's pick who are the 2 teams going to the finals and who's going to win it. Who you got?
All right. Coming out of the West. It's got to be the Lakers. It's really hard to put money on anyone but the Lakers. Yeah. It's like, and
they got better.
Barring LeBron getting hurt. Like LeBron hitting the wall this year, which doesn't really seem like it's like we're close to that, but it's possible, man. He's 36. Like
if there was a year because of the short off season and then being the champs, this would be the year where LeBron hits a wall.
Well, the thing I
think it'll happen though.
You got to think with the Lakers is I can totally see that like LeBron and AD probably don't even really start playing until like the end of January. Like in terms of like real minutes in games.
Yeah, they'll probably ease
like I think they're gonna coast it like until like basically the All-Star break or whatever, and then they'll turn it up. Yeah,
they'll rest them up so when they play the Clippers, they can annihilate them, and Montrezl Harrell will go off, and you know.
And so we'll see that, right? And then when they do turn it on, the only hope is like maybe they don't turn it on enough to get the 1 seed again, and
I just don't see it happening.
Who knows? And then if we're
what teams do you think could realistically take the 1 seed from the Lakers?
The
Clippers.
Nuggets, the Nuggets, maybe the Clippers. Yeah.
No, I don't. Man, I didn't like the Paul George extension either. But
maybe. But I think the Nuggets would be my pick. I think they have the potential. Jamal Murray makes another like leap this year. I think they have the potential to get there. That would probably be really the only team I could think.
I just don't feel confident about
Yeah.
any of them.
The wild card on the West might be the Suns, dude.
Yeah, I think Dallas is the wild card.
You think Dallas is the one?
I think the Phoenix Suns will be a playoff team, but Chris Paul, get past the second round before I can, you know.
I just don't think Dallas is good enough to get the 1 seed yet. I think they'll be in the top.
Oh, I don't either, but I'm just saying wild card, yeah.
Yeah. And wild card, I think I don't think the Suns are going to get the 1 seed, but I think they could get frisky out in the West. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, they can get very frisky.
A little frisky.
They can get very frisky out West.
Mm-hmm. In terms of the East, I mean, it's the fucking Celtics.
We already know where you're
going. I'm just kidding. But realistically, I think the Heat got to be the favorites to come out again. I think there's nothing. What did they do that's a step back, right? Like their hero is going to be better. Duncan Robinson is going to be fucking shooting threes. Like they got Jimmy Butler still. They, you know what I mean? That team is intact and proved like why. Like it wasn't a fluke that they made it out of the East last year. Like they were just like when we got to the bubble, they were clearly the best team, and with them, like it'll be interesting to see if they, kind of stumble through the regular season, like don't really play their best basketball until towards the end of the year again. But I think they have the potential to run away with the East. It's possible. Milwaukee will obviously be there.
That's my pick.
Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, Drew Holiday's huge for them. I think that he takes a ton of pressure off of Giannis and God, why am I blanking on his name?
Middleton,
yeah. So he takes a ton of pressure off them in terms of like someone that can have the ball in their hands and facilitate to those guys. So I think that as
And
much
he
as they gave
fits
up
in like
for
a
him,
glove on defense.
exactly.
I
As
mean,
much as they
God.
gave up for him, that really might pay off. It might be what they need to get over the hump.
Yeah, what,
Yeah.
what do they need first round draft picks for anyway? They're always going to be a top,
Yeah, it's
a
like
late first round pick with
yeah,
Giannis there.
maybe and like the thing is yeah, maybe they knew that before they made. You got to think right, like they had an inclination of that before they made that Drew Holiday trade, right?
Yeah,
Because at the time, like that was kind of we said it on here. If Giannis leaves, like those could all be fucking lottery picks, and you just traded all of them away.
Yeah.
Like, and so they must have had some inclination that was going to happen. So yeah, we're talking like those are all like top high 20 draft picks. So, my Celtics, right?
I mean, they are contenders. I'm just giving
the
you
thing
shit.
about the thing about that team, man, is, and I wish they had traded Kevin. You know, Gordon Hayward's gone, right? And
He's already
I feel
hurt.
bad. I feel yeah, he's already hurt again.
Broke his finger.
Feel so bad for that guy. But the Celtics, right? I think they're moving towards more where they need to be, where like it's you build a team around Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Those are your two superstars. Like, and you build guys that are complementary to them around the team. You don't try and have like two other scorers with them, or like Kyrie with them, or even Kemba. Like, I really honestly would like to see them trade Kemba and get a more like I think if Drew Holiday was on the Celtics, I'd be like, I think they're coming out of the East, right? Like that would be like, I think that's the type of point guard they need. I wish they had signed Rondo in the offseason. There's talk that they're going to bring Isaiah Thomas back because Kemba's like already hurt again, and he's probably not going to play until
Kemba's hurt again.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. There's something I think was that knee, dude, is fucked. Like that's why I want them to trade him, because I don't think he's ever truly going to be healthy again. And I think that's why they can't trade him, because everyone knows he's not going to be healthy again. So we're kind of screwed in that regard. But they're building the team around Tatum and Brown. And I think that that's kind of what you have to do in today's NBA. It's less about like three superstars that can score. You get two really good guys and complementary players around them that can shoot three balls. And then we're looking good. This kid they picked up, Pritchard, is looking good. I like him.
I liked your first round draft pick this season. Yeah. I really liked that kid. Was that who it was?
No, Pritchard was like late round. Like okay. Pritchard could be like the next Van Fleet. That's what. So maybe like we have a guy like that, like that'll be a tough defensive guy that just like tries really hard, and so anyone's better than fucking Wanamaker. So
getting Brad Wanamaker. First of all, great last name, terrible player. I mean, yeah, he's better than me. Fine, whatever. But oh God,
I feel
just
bad.
Watching him was
like,
painful.
He was a journeyman. Like he played overseas and like finally made it to the league. Like I feel bad, but like there was a reason like you weren't in the NBA for a long time. Yeah. And, like you're.
He is what he is.
You are what you are.
Exactly. He exists. Yeah. Good for him.
But I think the Celtics have a chance. I would be shocked if they drop out of the top four of these.
I don't think they drop out of the top four. I mean, I think you're looking at Toronto probably dropping out of the top four. I mean, Miami, they should stay back up there. You never know.
I mean, Miami could be the fifth seed again and win it from the fifth seed. That's the thing.
I'm going to go conspiracy theory here. NBA struggled with ratings in the bubble, even during, nothing else to watch other than basketball. And I think we both thought they did a great job pulling it off. Yeah. I was entertained by it. Some great basketball games, even without the crowd. But I think to drive up ratings, they're going to be pushing Giannis LeBron finals. So I'm going to say Lakers Bucks. It's the most obvious pick. Mm-hmm. It's not fun. But sometimes, you just got to put on the tinfoil hat, think about Adam Silver and the corruption over there.
I mean, it's a great storyline, like the guy who stayed versus LeBron, who's a traitor, and lose all his teams.
Yeah, so Mr. Loyalty versus absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know that the NBA does that though, because I think if they did that,
the NBA does that when they think they can get away with it. Okay, they don't do it if they did it all the time.
Yeah.
Then we would be on to them, and it wouldn't be,
Well, I don't know. Conspiracy hat back on, right? Tinfoil hat back on. I don't think that it's really happened since David Stern left the league. I think David Stern was fucking pulling the strings on that. He was, I mean,
Adam Silver is a
yeah.
really suspect looking individual. So I can't just sit up here.
I mean, he was like David Stern's lackey for like 20 years.
Wasn't he a lawyer as well?
They're
Like
all
David
lawyers.
Stern?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all
So
lawyers, yeah.
I mean, you're gonna trust. I'm sorry, lawyers, but I mean, we're really gonna trust these guys? Like, come on.
No, you're not. You can't trust. Yeah, you can't trust
Like
them. But
he's just a skinny, bald Rudy Giuliani. Like, come on. I mean, what are we doing here, guy? Like, we ain't trusting this.
Good point. Good point. But I think that I don't know, because I thought I was praying for that at one point when the Celtics were getting their asses kicked by the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. I was like, at least the NBA maybe will rig this for Celtics Lakers.
No, they like, we already have COVID. We're not rigging anything during
COVID
bubble.
There's too many.
But now they're like,
too many other
God.
conspiracies going on right now. We'll stick out. People are on to conspiracies right now. There's too much COVID conspiracies that we can't pull on right now.
No, but I mean, they realized, hey, this Michelob Ultra fan thing, we didn't make enough money off of that, so we gotta generate the revenue. Giannis versus LeBron, that's box office, and that's what they're gonna be looking for.
Man, I really hope that we can go to NBA games by the NBA playoffs. I really hope. Especially I live right near Boston now. Like, I'm fucking just praying that happens. I assume I'm probably gonna have to get the vaccine to go.
It ain't gonna happen at least until it warms up a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I know the NHL, they're doing outside games.
Yeah, they were talking about.
They might have fans for that.
Yeah, I heard some talk there about them doing an outside NBA game, but I don't really know at Fenway Park. I think I heard that. I don't know.
I mean, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, it would be that. I mean, that would be an experience to go.
That's when you got to go to.
Yeah. That was the one. That's my one bucket list Boston sports thing that I haven't done. Is I haven't been to when they do the Winter Classic at Fenway Park.
Oh yeah, that's always pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, that's one of my bucket list things to do as a Boston sports fan. I haven't done it, so that would be one. But if the Celtics were to play there, I mean, I would pay whatever amount of money was necessary to get in. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Sounds like a good time. And, we're the Bush League Bros. Brett Batchelder right here. Polyak is right there. We're doing a little NBA talk because the season kicks off December 22nd. That is this Tuesday.
Woo!
The shortest off season of all time. We got one more topic here that I want to go over. And I just want to know what the most interesting storyline for you is going into this NBA season.
Interesting storyline. I think it's got to be the Nets. Right?
Why do we have everything the same on this one?
I don't know. I mean, it's just that is the story. That's the interesting storyline.
Do you think that's the storyline. We know what. If you guys don't know what the storyline is, it's KD and Kyrie went over to Brooklyn last year. KD out all season. Kyrie also got hurt. Kyrie also a flat earther and just a strange human being.
Won't talk to the media this year. Have you seen that?
Already been fined $25K. Yeah. Made the Brooklyn Nets get fined $25K because he wouldn't. He thinks he's Marshawn Lynch, but he's not. Marshawn Lynch is a beautiful man. Kyrie's a weirdo. But they're playing. They're both healthy. They're both playing this season. So if we both have the same one, just bottom line it for me. Do you think it's going to work out, these two on the same team? Do you think these two personalities will work on the court?
It could. But it could also go really bad. It could go horribly. But I think that KD is so good that any of the Kyrie, I think Kyrie is someone that will legitimately quit on you when things go wrong. I think that was my ultimate. He's an amazing player. Don't get me wrong. When he was on the Celtics, he was a phenomenal player. He is injury prone. He's got terrible knees too.
Is Kyrie a winner?
I don't believe he's a winner. I don't think he loves basketball. You have to win the NBA Finals or carry a team to the NBA Finals. I don't think he's one of those guys. But KD is, right? And you really only need maybe one of those guys in your team to get your team to the NBA Finals. If KD comes back because the thing about that duo is they're really similar to how him and LeBron were, right? Where KD is going to be the guy and Kyrie's going to have less pressure on him, but he's going to be expected to, obviously make things happen. I don't think, as delusional as he is, he thinks he's needs to be the main scorer over KD because, I mean, and if he does, then like really, he's really lost his mind, right? Because KD's probably maybe the most unstoppable scorer the NBA's ever seen. So I don't think that that's going to be the case. Who knows? But there's the chance that like they could be a top team in the East, but he's such a wild card that you never like. He could just be like, I'm not playing for a week, like, or I don't know, like you never know what's going to happen with him. You can't have a guy like that on your team and depend on him.
Yeah, I think there'll be a nice honeymoon phase. I think they'll come out. The Nets are a playoff team. Okay, I mean, just barring injury, again, as you said, we could say that for anybody, any team.
Yeah.
Barring this team has no business with those two guys and their supporting cast not being a top 4, maybe top 3 seed in the East. That's just my opinion. Too much talent. KD, when he's healthy, we were calling him, or well, a lot of people were calling him the best player in the world before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Because he, as you said, he is probably the most dynamic, versatile scorer we've ever seen.
Yeah.
7-footer who can shoot anywhere, like lights out, crazy. I mean, I'm not a big fan anymore after the OKC stuff, but he is great. I just think long term, I don't think Kyrie Irving is going to be. If one person's not going to last, I don't see Kyrie Irving lasting on that team. You already see the stuff he says coming out. I don't know where my voice is going. You already see the stuff coming out where he's talking about, he's kind of bashing LeBron, who was kind of like his older brother figure. Say what you want about LeBron, but you could clearly see LeBron took him under his wing.
Yeah.
And then he goes to Boston, tries to be the man, can't be the man. I don't know what his mentality is. I don't know if he's going to like being Robin again to KD's Batman. I know that's a common, it's probably an overused metaphor or whatever, but
yeah,
that's what he's going to be. He's going to be the number 2. He's not going to be the guy. And is he going to be okay with that? Can he put that strange ego mindset of his, on the back burner and just let it go? Because if he can, that's great. If he does accept that role and he can just have that less pressure, and we've seen he won the Cavs that championship with the 3-point shot. Like, I mean, there's no Yes, LeBron had the Iggy block, which also contributed to it, but I mean, he doesn't hit that 3. We're talking about a much different LeBron James. We're talking about a much different Golden State Warriors right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
we'll see.
But I don't
have a lot of faith.
I'm not saying that he's not a great player and that he's not going to help carry them, but it's just you can't depend on him to like lead your team. That's where, and all this shit where he's not talking to the media, like that, like just goes to show you he's not a leader in the locker room, like because
he's putting himself first.
Because. Okay, you can say I'm not talking to the media because I don't know, exactly what his reasons are. It's kind of bizarre what he said about it, right? But what that does is that becomes a distraction for your team, because then all your teammates get asked by the media, why is Kyrie not talking to us? What's going on with Kyrie? Like it just makes it a nightmare for the rest of your team, and then makes your team hate you. Did
he come out and say why he wasn't talking to the media?
He was like, it was some weird.
Did he
Kyrie
fake news
shit.
Him or something? Yeah.
He was like, there's so many more important things going on in the world, and
that's right. I do remember that. That doesn't equate to a media day at all.
And
special human being.
The thing about Kyrie is, I honestly think, and like the people that have been around him, I think he's like the NBA version of Kanye West. Like he's just. It's a great analogy, right?
Comp right there.
You don't really know what the reasoning behind anything is, but he also will come out with every once in a while say something deeply intellectual where you're like, oh, it's kind of deep, he's somewhat on point here. But then follow it up with with some craziness. So every once in a while Kanye will put out some good music, but then he fucking says some other crazy shit steals the light with the VMAs, so.
Hey, look, I'm going to let you finish, but, I mean, hey, Single Ladies was a great music video, so.
It was.
What Kanye, I mean, you get a little dance right there, We can all do the dance. Let's go. What are you drinking right there?
A little Red Bull.
Oh, hey, shout out to Red Bull. If you guys want us to sell out to you, we'll gladly do it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Shout out to them. Great stuff. It's time to hop over to the NFL.
Let's do it.
Good stuff right there. NBA kickoff this Tuesday.
Can't wait. Yeah.
Oh, we get more sports again. That's going to be good. That's going to be good. NFL. We're not going to talk about the Raiders game last night. The Raiders did lose. They blew it to the Chargers, 30-27. Herbert looked great, but we're not going to dive into that because I want to save it for next week when we go over the entire NFL weekend. And so I can put our first video submission into this, figure out how we're going to do it. We can talk about the Raiders because that's one of the video submissions that was sent in. So we'll do that then. Really only big storyline, I don't know how big of a storyline it is to you, but before we get into our picks, that's all we're going to do, is this storyline in the picks. Drew Brees had some ribs broken, sounds like a pretty painful situation. Yeah, just a couple of ribs broken, no big deal. I don't even, how many ribs do you have? Do you have more than 11 ribs? That sounds like all of your ribs.
I could not tell you how many ribs you have.
I'm not going to look like I'm playing with my
nipple. I think there's at least 8 on each side. Would be my guess.
Let's see here. We gotta do some
pull that up
medical research. How
I'm gonna go
many ribs?
I'm gonna go with you have.
Does a man
18.
have?
I'm gonna go with you have 18, 9 on each side.
The mass majority of people are born with 12 pairs of ribs for a total of 24. So he had almost 24. Sense. Seems like a lot, but okay. And I like how the vast majority. So people like there's
he broke
a large
all
minority
of them on one side, basically.
Unless he's like doing like I don't know.
Yeah.
That sucks. But he's back. They got to play the Chiefs this week, and based on how Taysom Hill played against the Eagles last weekend, I mean, I think it's a good time. Did you see anything out of Taysom Hill that made you go, "Wow, he's the guy"?
No.
In the 2 weeks or 3 weeks,
he's not an NFL quarterback. Yeah,
he can't throw.
He's what he is. He's a wildcat quarterback.
Yeah,
He's good for like a few plays a game for the Saints, but he's not.
Oh, he's a heck of an athlete. He can do some stuff, but yeah, you don't want him as your every down quarterback.
You make the argument too that like that might have fucked them because now teams are like know exactly what like if Taysom Hill's on the field, like they kind of have a few games of like scouting report on him.
Yeah.
Like in the playoffs, like they always throw him in for a few plays, and you can make the argument that teams have a lot more footage on like what they're gonna do with him now than they used to. So
yeah, they might be able to pick it up quicker. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like, we talked about how on the flip side, the Saints defense with Jalen Hurts last weekend, they couldn't predict that it was going to be run heavy from the quarterback when all he does when he comes out in the Taysom Hill package is run. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just seems like, NFL defenses are figuring, Taysom Hill's here. Let's stack the box and let's make him throw it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
precise.
But good. Hey, I mean, this might on the flip side, though, what have we been saying about Drew Brees the last couple of years? By the time he gets to the playoffs, his arm is shot because he's so old. Now he's had weeks off. Maybe.
I think we said this when he got hurt, right? We're like, maybe this might be the best.
Yeah, we probably did.
He'll just be fresh for like the down the stretch in the playoffs. But I think they lose. They're playing the Chiefs this week, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they could if the defense shows back up, they could beat the Chiefs, but I don't.
Yeah. No, I would take the
Chiefs. Are on fire.
I just don't think that they can keep up points wise with the Chiefs. I don't care how good the defense is. I just don't. I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs have played down to their opponents. Like they. So who knows?
Yeah, but that's a scary thing.
Upset. Yeah.
There's, and I didn't come up with this. This podcast I've been listening to, and they're like, the scary thing about the Chiefs is they can just turn it on for 10 minutes, blow you out in those 10 minutes, in the middle of a football game, and the game's over. Then they'll go right back to cruise control, let you think you're back in the football game. Mm-hmm. And then old Patty Boy will just stroll right out there and go, I need to sling it around a little bit. Okay, here you go. Pew, pew, like.
Yeah. I'm down 10 points at the end of the third quarter. We snap my fingers, we'll be up 17. Yeah.
He's a magician.
By the end of this game. Yeah.
He's unreal.
No, I think that Brees coming back, I mean, it's a positive for the Saints, but I don't really know that.
Won't help him this week, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly.
He won't make a huge. I mean, he might, but
yeah. I think that I don't think that they have a shot at the 1 seed in the NFC.
No, Green Bay.
Yeah.
Look, and hey, we should address this real quick because we talked about it after the draft last season. Well, when we started the podcast, that we talked about it when we were doing our draft or our season previews. Green Bay drafting Jordan Love, the quarterback, in the first round instead of someone to help Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Hindsight, this genius.
Yeah.
All they did was piss the guy off. Mm-hmm. And now he's got almost 40 touchdowns to 40. This guy is lighting people up, and he's on my fantasy team, and I hate him, but I love him at the same time.
It reminds me, it's very similar to when the Patriots got Garoppolo and Brady fucking ripped off 2 Super Bowls in 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's
good move.
Yeah.
Piss off the competitive quarterbacks. I mean,
exactly. Put a fire under his ass.
Hell, we're signing Dak and we're drafting Justin Fields. I mean, we're just gonna go for it. We're just pissing him off. I like it.
That might be the move. Yeah.
That's the strategery. There we go. Let's do some picks now. All right. We're gonna do some picks, and we're gonna talk about one big thing that happened in pop culture that we got to address because it's kind of funny. But we got our locks, we got our upsets, and we got our homer picks. When we come back next week, after we've talked about revamping the show, I'll have our records. Spoiler alert, not gonna be impressive on either side. No. I'm pretty sure you're still beating me, but I'll have it confirmed. Maybe we'll have a graphic or something showing where we're at. I don't want to speak too much into the air, but we'll see. Yeah. We're gonna start with our locks. Okay, that's what we know. And mine is going to be Minnesota is a -3-point favorite over Chicago. Mm-hmm. I think they had a rough game against the Bucks, who were coming off of a bye. I don't think Chicago is very good. I'm taking Minnesota -3 over Chicago. I think that's an easy one for me.
Okay.
Don't let me down, Kurt.
I like that pick. I think you got a good lock there. My lock for this week is Indy -7.5 over Houston. I just think that
Houston's in a division game.
Yeah, Houston's done. Indy needs this game. It's important to them. I think these late season games where one team
playing good football.
Yeah, one team is playing good football and needs to win here, and then the other team is they're looking forward to vacation. I think that those games typically always go the way of the team that needs the game, and I think we see Indy win. They cover that spread. I think I like that.
That's a smart pick right there. Mm-hmm. Let's go to upset. What's your upset of the week this week?
Upset of the week. I got a crazy one.
Okay.
Just solely based on the line, though.
Give me the line.
New York Jets +17 over the.
I thought about this one.
Whenever you see a line like that in the NFL, you gotta take it, man. It's the NFL. The players are too good. I don't care how shitty the Jets are. The players are too good to just be like, oh, okay, they're definitely losing by 17 points. Coming
off of a 40-3 loss to the Seahawks, you got to think the players on defense have a little more pride than that.
Who knows, right? The Jets, I think the Jets are definitely packing it in, but I just think that +17,
a lot of points. How explosive are the Rams?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the Rams are the explosive offense we've seen out of them in the past. The Jets suck, but I just think that they have a chance to keep that to a 14-point game.
Okay. Yeah,
that would be my only. So I'm
17.5 is a wild. That's a
betting
wild,
on the Jets
number.
Is maybe the craziest thing I've done all year.
Well, I've done it once.
Yeah.
And that's not talking about my super lock, which is they're going 0-16.
That's
the Brett guarantee.
Super lock is in pretty good shape. Yeah.
So far, but somehow everyone in the sports world finds a way to screw me, but. It's not even pleasurable, but yeah, I think that's a good one. Mine, the Cards are 6.5-point favorites over the Eagles. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of doing the same thing for me. Cardinals, I know they beat the Giants last week in a big win. I don't know why anybody thought the Giants were any good. It just wake up, people. Wake up. It doesn't make any sense. If you want to say the R words are a competent football team, fine. Don't say the Giants are a good football team. It doesn't make any sense. I just think 6.5 points is too much. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals haven't been playing great. If you look at them over the past month, I think they'll still probably win this game, but 6.5 seems like a lot. Eagles seem re-energized with Jalen Hurts, who has been announced the starter again for this week. It should be the starter for the rest of the season. I like that as my upset of the week.
Yeah, I like it too, man. I think it's a good pick.
We haven't argued at all.
I think Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I think Jalen Hurts is a positive for the Eagles. They can only really go up. Yeah, so we'll see with that. And yeah, I don't think that. I know the Cardinals won big last week, but I think they've kind of been exposed as a little bit fraudulent as the season's gone on.
If I get one thing right this season, it'll be the Cardinals. They'll
Kyler
find a way to win
Murray
the Super Bowl.
MVP is falling apart for me.
Oh,
but
it's dead. There's no way. You can't. I mean,
it's dead, yeah.
even if he has a great 3-game run, Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes got that thing locked up.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe next year.
Oh, God.
So yeah. So what about the homer picks? What do you
Homer
got?
picks. Cowboys are +3 underdogs home against the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
This one
You got a shot here.
is tough for me, okay? Because I don't think Jimmy G's playing.
No.
I think it's what is that guy? Who's been playing for them? I don't even remember. Collins. Who the heck has been there? I don't know. It's some guy that was a backup on the Browns when the Browns stunk. Everyone's hurt on the 49ers, but I don't want the Cowboys to lose, but I want the Cowboys to lose because we need the draft pick. So
you need a good draft pick, yeah.
God, I can see us winning this football game.
At the NFC East still? You do,
yes.
Right?
Yeah. If we went out and the Redskins, oh my God, the R words lose 2 games, I'm pretty sure we're in.
We just got canceled.
Dude, we've been canceled so many. I mean, just listen to me on the last episode where I'm going off on woke people, and it's a little ornery last week. I don't know what's going on over there, but anyway, Cowboys +340. I'm still kind of like I'm going to take the Cowboys to cover on this one. I think it'll be a close football game. Both of these football teams stink. Both of these teams are down to like all of their third-string players, so this is going to be a sloppy, gross game. If we find a way to win, I'll be happy but pissed at the same time. Let's go to your Pats, though. Your Pats have similar odds to my Cowboys.
+3 over the Jets.
Yep,
I'm going to take the Pats, yeah, +3. Or the Jets are favored. Or no, the Dolphins, I'm sorry, yeah.
You taking the Dolphins to cover?
No, I'm going with the Patriots.
Okay. Are you going to pick them outright, or are you just saying?
Upset alert. No, I'm going to take them with the points. I'm going to take them with the points, yeah.
Smart.
But I just, I don't know. I think the Patriots have been playing slightly better. It's just, I don't know. I just think our only hope is to destroy other teams' hopes of the playoffs. So I'd like to see us do that to the Dolphins, I guess. Crush some Dolphin fans' hopes.
Yeah. I mean,
that's basically the only thing we can do this year. So
I think the Dolphins are the better football team, but it is Bill Belichick against a rookie quarterback, and I think you always have to like that matchup. I don't know that the Patriots will win, but I mean, I think Tua has not done anything for me that makes me go, "Oh God, the benching of Ryan Fitzpatrick was just so smart."
No,
to me, I get that you want to look towards the future, but if we're talking about playoffs right now and pushing, Tua's not really doing it for me. He's playing fine. So I think there's a game there to be had. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we'll see, but it's just been a depressing year. I'd like to end it on a high note. We still have a 2% chance of making the playoffs. So
you're telling me there's a chance?
You're telling me there's a chance. We just got to win out. We just got to win out, dude. And the Dolphins are one of the teams that needs to lose, I think.
The Dolphins are one of the teams that need to lose. As are the Ravens,
Which is possible.
Look, I mean, your guy KG said anything is possible. So
yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if they lose all 3 of their last games because they play us, the Bills, and the Raiders. Which the Raiders looks like I don't know. They'll probably beat them. We went over this last week. Yeah, I think if we win out, we finish with similar records, and then it's funny because I think.
We need
the Ravens to lose too. Yeah.
Yes, you need the Ravens. You need the Dolphins. Well, the Ravens and Dolphins because the Raiders keep losing. So
yeah,
really now it's the Raiders and the Dolphins have to keep losing. So I mean, none of us want to see it for your Patriots. I'm just being honest. I think the world would love to see the Patriots. Kind of feel like the rest of the world every once in a while. But
yeah,
it's been a tough 2020. So I'm not going to shit all over your dreams, okay?
I'm going to take my 6 Super Bowl rings. And
here we go.
Happily at night.
Here we go. And there's the okay. I love my Bostonians, but we don't get that Yankees complex, okay? We don't want that. All right, we don't want y'all to do that.
Sorry. Yeah.
Remember, you guys are the good guys. The Yankees, that fan base, they're the bad guys. We don't want to switch the roles here.
27 rings. 27.
Oh, God. Haven't won one since I was 19 and in my 30s, pal. Suck on that, Yankees. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about the Yankees. They stink.
Okay.
They always stink. Let's Do you have anything else sports-wise that you want to talk about before we hop into this
No, we're good.
this
I'm
Tom
ready.
Cruise situation?
Yep.
All right, so you want to talk about this Tom Cruise situation?
Let's do
Did
it.
you
Let's
hear
do
the
it.
audio?
I certainly did. Yes, it was hilarious. Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys don't know, are they on cruise ships or something doing this? They're on boats right now filming this movie.
I wasn't aware of that.
Okay, I'm
they're
pretty
filming.
sure.
They're filming another Mission Impossible, like
Mission
Impossible 17 or something.
Yeah, whatever. I can't. We'll talk about that franchise here in a second.
Yeah.
But I don't. From my understanding, they're on these boats filming. They must be for a particular scene or whatever. But they're all out there filming, production, trying to follow COVID protocol. I guess some people were not following COVID protocol. I don't know how you don't follow COVID protocol on a boat when you've all been quarantined. I don't understand how any of this works. But old Tommy Cruise went on an epic rant for the production staff, and I would assume, just everybody that's involved there on site for not following COVID protocols. And in the rant, he talks about how he's on the phones all day and night with producers and insurance company. I don't know what he's doing on the phone with insurance companies. That sounds a little. I don't understand the movie.
That whole part of it, I was like, do you really do that? Like, is that really what you do? Yeah.
Maybe Tommy Cruise is, really dedicated to bringing Hollywood back.
He's all in one. He's the actor, producer. He does the insurance.
He is a producer on this movie, but I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I think
that just means
been a producer. Money. I think he's been a producer on probably every Mission Impossible since the second one. Yeah.
Ugh, these garbage movies. But he also goes on to say how Hollywood's counting on them, how thousands of jobs are at stake, and the industry's looking at them, and they might be. I mean, we've talked about movie theaters being dead in the previous episode.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's wrong with that. Yeah.
No, I don't think that he's wrong. It's just absolutely. I mean, the rant was absolutely hilarious. Mm-hmm. What I want to know, first off, if you have Tommy Cruise yelling at you like this, how serious are you taking it? Are you intimidated by old Tom?
I think if I was there, right, I don't think I could get intimidated just because I'd be like, is he doing a bit? Like, is this
Did that sound like intimidating yelling to you?
I mean, he was screaming, but you know what I mean? You've seen him in so many movies. Like, I'd be like, is he practicing for an upcoming part here? Like that he's just taking it out on the staff. He's practicing getting mad on camera.
Bro, can you think of, and I hate calling him an action star, but can you think of an action star less intimidating than Tom Cruise?
Yeah, he's 5'1". Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would not. No, I would be.
That's part of why I can't buy these. We'll talk about it now. I can't even buy these Mission Impossible movies. Not physically, but I can't get behind them because I don't see him as an action star. I know he does all his own stunts and stuff, but I don't go and look at Tom Cruise and go, "Oh, that is a badass right there." Absolutely not.
No, I've never really felt that way either. I would say Tom Cruise he's an A-list celebrity.
I'm not saying he's not a good actor. I'm not saying, do you buy him as an action star?
Yeah.
You put him up against Jason Statham, The Rock, people like that. Who are you gonna be more intimidated?
He's been an action movie guy for a long time now.
Yeah, but does he do good action movies?
You could argue there's certain Mission Impossibles that are good.
I hate Mission.
Not all of them.
I think they stink.
And all together, I don't think you'd argue this. The whole
it's a shitty James
series
Bond.
Is great.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
not a fan.
It's a good point. Yeah.
I liked Edge of Tomorrow, but Emily Blunt really.
Yeah.
Was the star of that.
She carried that one. Yeah. Wasn't he in? Was it Minority Report? He was in that.
Minority is that an action? Minority Report. I don't know. That one was a
sci-fi kind of one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, any movie that just makes me want to think. I'm not trying to go think at a movie.
I will say this about Tom Cruise: all of his movies blend together in my mind, if that makes sense. I've seen a lot of them, but they're all kind of the same movie.
Yeah, he had the shitty Mummy movie. Come on. I already have Brendan Fraser. We've already made the perfect Mummy movie. Okay, we don't need Tommy Boy coming in here.
I watched that recently. And the
new one or the 90s?
No,
one?
The original one with Brendan Fraser. And the graphics are so bad. It's so funny.
Whoa. It's a great movie. You can't tell me you don't love that movie.
No, it's a great movie. I'm not saying it isn't, but the graphics are just you just forget how bad.
Yeah, they don't hold
90s,
up. They absolutely don't hold up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they don't hold. especially in the second one where The Rock is the Scorpion King.
Yeah,
This looks like a video game from 1980. That's brutal. That's absolutely brutal. So if Tom Cruise is yelling at you, let's say you're the guy. There's already been 5 people that have since quit because apparently there's a second rant that hasn't been released yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess nobody listened to him. I guess they're like me and just not intimidated by Tom. And so they did it again. He had another rant. 5 people quit. If Tom Cruise is pointing in your face as an adult, are you going to sit there and take that?
I don't know. I mean,
as an employer, are you going to, have you ever been, whether it's the friend or a boss or a parent, like, have they ever like scolded you like that and you just sit there and took it? Maybe a parent, you take it because it's your parents, but
yeah, maybe a parent, maybe like a coach in the past. Like, yeah, I've gotten like destroyed by, you know what I mean? Like screaming in your face. But I can't say like, yeah, I'd ever like let an employer like treat me in that way, right? Like I've been yelled at by employers kind of in a similar setting like that, like as like a group. I've had like employers kind of like go off on a bunch of us. And it was, I mean, sometimes you gotta motivate the troops, I guess, but to wear their masks and follow COVID protocol. I don't know, man. I listened to the whole thing. I didn't think he was that out of line.
No, I think
considering he's got a point. Yeah, if they don't follow COVID protocol, everyone gets COVID on the site. Like they have to shut it down. Yeah.
Have you heard they're going to call it Mission Impossible COVID protocol? I mean, I just think that's great.
They really should. Yeah,
they absolutely should. And I don't know. I hear Tom Cruise. I think it's Mr. Scientology jumping on Oprah's couch, and I just don't. Like, there's certain people I can sit there and say, like, at my last job, there were times it was really funny because we would have teams of like 15 to 20 employees, under a team. And so every supervisor would have their own team, whatever. And there was one month where my team had a bad, they were doing some shady stuff and I caught them, like a whole group of them were doing it. And so I'm like, all right, you got to make examples. You're right. The coach would or whatever. And I had these 2 girls join my team. It was their first team meeting. Mm-hmm. And I'm just having to absolutely go ham on these people. Full Tom Cruise. I'm pulling a full cruise on this. Mm-hmm. And I had to pull them in Paul. I'm like, guys, like, I'm so sorry. That's the first thing you had to see with me. Like, because everybody, I think that's what I would like to know more about the dynamic. Because I think if you have the clout, I hate to use that term, like the kids use that clout. Mm-hmm. You have that relationship, that rapport with your employees. Like I had with that original group of people, like, hey, we've been together forever. It's supposed to be trust, blah, blah. Now you've upset me, and it's time to. But you can't just if you don't know these clowns, and you're just going and yelling at them and telling them as adults, so you can't do this, that, and the other. You're just asking for people to do more.
You're asking for it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm a rebel. You tell me I can't go do something. The first thing I'm going to want to go do is exactly what you told me I can't go do.
Yeah. It's a good point. I mean, we don't know with shit like this. You're right. Like we don't really know the entire backstory. Yeah. Like people were just refusing to wear masks and just like coughing on each other. Who knows what was going on? But I've had some supervisor roles. I've never really screamed at someone like this. I've gotten very upset with people.
If you do it right, you can do a good scolding without screaming. That's
exactly.
That's how you do it. That's how you get the spine tingling.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I've wanted to do something like that with employees before, but you gotta like tote the line. I think what it comes down to is no matter. Like you just got to treat people like with respect, no matter how stupid they were or like what mistake they made. You just got to be respectful. And then like if they don't get it, like, all right, man. Like we don't
know. Was this strike 1, 2, or 3? We don't know what level it is.
Exactly.
Hey, shout out to Tommy for trying to save the movie industry. Good for him. Staying up all night with these insurance companies and these producers.
I'm on the phone.
These studios.
I'm on the phone with Geico all night, dude.
I'm trying to save 15%.
I'm on the phone with Jake from State Farm, and you guys are not wearing your goddamn masks in here. This is just fucking unacceptable.
Oh, my God. Unreal.
All right.
Good stuff. We're going to shut this thing down, pal.
I'm ready, dude.
All right, good. That's been a lot of fun. I'm glad we got that in there.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for this episode of Bush League Bros Sports Talk. Don't forget, again, starting next week, I don't know what next week is Christmas, so we might have a little bit different schedule.
We'll probably do maybe one more episode before Christmas.
Yeah, we'll talk about it off, Eric. Be looking for it. We'll do what we do.
But we take a holiday here.
Yeah. Start sending us more submissions for videos, and we're gonna start figuring out over the next week or two. As we promised, we don't have school these next 2 weeks. We're gonna start rededicating, revamping them. We've got
a great way to probably play those videos. We can throw them on the monitor, dude.
Yeah, there you go.
We can let people rant about whatever they'd like.
Exactly. We got some good ones. Poor Paul has to be the subject of the first one. Spoiler alert. But it'll be good. It'll be fun. We want to get you guys on the show, and maybe eventually build up to you guys actually coming on the show. So we'll see where it leads. Be on the lookout for that. We're very excited for it. But until then, subscribe, like the video on the YouTube. If you haven't already, follow us on Twitter and on Facebook at Bush League Bros. But for Pauliakis over there, I'm Brett Batchelder. Peace.
Peace.